Well, hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today we are in Cornelius, North Carolina, out on Lake Norman at the Ramsey Creek boat access. This is a public park within Mecklenburg County. I got a little story to tell you about this launch, but for the moment, let's do some fishing. There we go. Nice spot. I've missed several. This is the first one that I've been able to hook up with. Nice little spot. Look at that guy. Nice, long and lean. Good tournament fish right there. Well, hey guys, I had mentioned earlier that I had a story to tell you about Ramsey Creek. I drove all the way up here. Today is a Tuesday, and drove all the way up here. Got to the park. Park gates are closed, and there's a big sign on it says that the beach is closed. I don't know if it's because of COVID. I don't know exactly what the deal is, but the exit gate was still open. So I drove through the exit. I literally was the only person out here on the water. I was the only person in the park. So this is probably not the way that you should do things, but I drove all the way up here. I'm not going back now. So I parked and I'm out on the water fishing. I'll be interested to see what happens when I get back to my car, whether or not it's towed, whether I get ticketed, whether I get locked in. There's any number of bad consequences that can happen from this, but only one way to find out. Go. Nice bass. Yeah. Holy crap, I was not expecting that. Nice largemouth. That's a Lake Norman largemouth right there. That's surprising. You know, usually Norman is known for the spots. That's a nice fish. Look at this guy. Let's get him back in the water here. And now it's time for tackle roundup. All right, guys. One of the things about this particular launch and this particular lake, lots and lots and lots of docks. Now, if you are a regular viewer of this channel, you know that I absolutely hate fishing docks, and this place has a ton. That's basically all it is. It's just shoreline and shoreline of docks. And I've been kind of dreading docks. Again, throwing a green worm under a dock is, for me, the most boring, tedious thing humanly conceivable. I just hate doing it that much. So I started off this morning, was doing some top water and was using Whopper plopper. Only landed one, got a ton of bites. I mean, that top water bite was on fire for a little bit, but I think they were all small spots, and I wasn't able to capitalize on any of those bites. Got one on the Whopper plopper, and then as I was about to tie on a green worm, I was like, you know, let me try something different, because I was just dreading it so much. I think I may have stumbled on something, and that thing that I stumbled on was spinnerbait. Caught that bass on a this is a white Booyah spinnerbait, 2 willow blades. I'm not sure if it's 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce. I don't know. And I'm using a Big Bite Baits trailer cane thumper, 3.5 inch cane thumper as the trailer. And that fish, honestly, I didn't even feel it. You know, it was just one of those things where I'm reeling in, all of a sudden there's just like dead weight on there. I thought I was tied up on a rope or something, but no, it was a fish. And he was out like not under the docks. He was out like in between docks in about 10 foot of water. So I'm gonna try to do that and see if he's the only one out there, or if maybe, I'm thinking that the fish up under the docks are all those little spots, but if I can keep catching the largemouth, that'd be nice. But that's what I'm doing, using that white Booyah spinnerbait. And that concludes today's tackle roundup. There's a bird, and then there's a baby there too. See the baby? There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah, look at that largemouth. Look at him.
Do you think he, was that yoga?
Well, hey guys, I think I am going to wrap it up out here on Lake Norman, out at the Ramsey Creek access. Had a good time. I'm sorry. I did have a good time. Here's my thoughts about this lake in this particular launch area. Obviously, I'm out here on a Tuesday, as I discussed earlier. That you know, I don't know if my car is even still going to be there because the ramp isn't actually open. So I'm out here on a Tuesday, and as a result, the water has been very, very calm. There's not all the pleasure boaters. However, I would be terrified if I were to come out here on the weekend. I'm just going to be honest with you, just because of the amount of development and the amount of boats that are docked in marinas where people are docking their boats. I can only imagine this place is just going to be chaos. Would be chaos like on the weekends during the summer. So with that said, if you come out here, I would highly recommend you come on a weekday. That is, if the ramp is even open on the weekday, which I'll have to research to see if they're normally closed on weekdays or if this is just a COVID thing. It's only about 11 o'clock, but I'm turning in and I hate to admit this, I'm turning in not because I'm not catching fish or that the bite has stopped. As you can tell, it's overcast. It's actually pretty good fishing conditions. I'm just incredibly bored. The dock situation. I wish I were a stronger person and that I could look beyond fish. This is just not what I enjoy doing. I'd rather go to the dentist than fish all these docks. I'm just being honest with you. If docks are your thing, then this may be an ideal locale for you, but as far as what I enjoy doing, this is just torture. Just absolute torture. I like laydowns. I like undeveloped things. And every square inch of this particular area of Lake Norman is completely developed and covered in docks. And it's just too tedious for me. But I've caught some fish. Caught a spot and a couple largemouth, which are good sizes. If you're interested in learning more about the fishing spot, lures, anything that I've done today, you can look down in the description box. I'm going to put some additional information down there. But while you're there, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. The channel is updated every week with new fishing content and new fishing adventures. So I will be seeing you next week. This is Josh, and this is Abide Fishing.